Let's go, boys. Boys. Alright, am I on? What's up, guys? I'm gonna wait for this actually for me to see something, and I'll tell you if I'm on or not. Receiving. Your audience will see it in a moment. To get ready. I'm ready. Oh my god. Come on. Oh, here we go. Big things happening. Big things happening, girl. Alright, we're a minute in. Facebook's uploading. Or wait, Facebook can't. YouTube. Boom. I see people. I see people. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. It is, it's Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. I just got done with a shoot. Actually, just got done with lunch. And I am now culling a wedding. I spent 2.5 hours this morning editing. Oh, I'm sorry, emailing. So now I get to edit. I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm so behind in editing, which honestly I felt like that for like the last 8 years of my life. Like there's never been a day where I'm like I'm caught up. I'm cool, which is good. Always have work, but you know, whatever. So today we're gonna we have some cool stuff going on today. Oh, I gotta button this up. This is not a thing right now. We have some cool stuff going on today as far as my desk. I have a new monitor coming from Amazon today, as well as a new like arm hook to hang it on. And you guys can't see my desk right now, but it looks pretty good. But the monitor that I keep looking this way to is bugging me. If you guys have been watching my streams, I feel like I'm blind when I see it because it's just not clear. Decided to get another one. It's a couple years old anyways, and we'll just get rid of this bad boy. But today we're going to be talking about image delivery, and I think that's a good topic. And usually these topics that I kind of pick come from actual real-life conversations. So while I chat here and talk to myself, if you guys are on the channel, feel free to jump on and say what's up, and give me a hi, give me a subscribe, give me a like on the video. And let's chat. That's why we're here. We're live streaming for the next hour. I'll be here till 3. And we're going to build this channel together. We're on the road to 1K. My description there is pretty self-explanatory. It kind of goes through how to get a hold of me, how to send me stuff for critique, how to send me anything. Also, a little bit about Hatch Lab and what we do in the Reno Sparks Tahoe community for artists, photographers, videographers within our space and what we do. We have some super exciting things that were happening, a couple of events, so you guys will be the first to kind of know. We're doing a really cool father-daughter dance to raise money for the lab, and then we're also doing a haunted house. I think we're doing a haunted house. We got to work on the logistics of that. But let's talk about image delivery while we're here, right? So people can rewatch this if they need to rewatch this, but if you're watching, say what's up. Let's just say what's up. Say hi to me. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. You know what I forgot to do, guys? I forgot to go live on this because I got to get people here.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? Come to YouTube. I'm live.
Right, let's put this here. Start. Alright, hopefully that doesn't fall. That's a horrible angle. Alright, so we're talking about image delivery today, everybody on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube. We'll say it forever. What image delivery is when you deliver images to clients. So more particularly, I want to talk about RAW versus JPEG versus TIFF, where, you know, to keep it simple, let's just talk about RAW versus JPEG, and I think that should be good as far as what we're actually going to talk about today. So I know that when I was newer into photography, I would always think of the option of just shooting and burning and giving my clients all the images from the thing without editing. And the reason I thought about that is when I first started, I always felt like, go to YouTube, guys, go to YouTube, go to YouTube. I always felt like delivering all the images to a client, they respected me more and they valued the images more because they get a ton more images over, you know, what I could actually edit and do. Remember, that's what I first thought. Now being a photographer and living my life and working and all that, that's not the case at all. In fact, if you go on Craigslist, I go on like a lot of, I go on Craigslist and I see some cool stuff. Some stuff people send me that like shouldn't be on Craigslist. I guess if it were to be anywhere, it'd be on Craigslist. But basically, people are offering to shoot people with their camera and their memory cards and just giving it to them when they're done. For say $50 an hour or something, which if you need to make money, awesome, but like how good could those images be? Really, like how good are these? So it's a little tricky on that. So when we're delivering images, I always deliver in a JPEG format, and I deliver max res because that's what my clients are paying for. I don't crop for different res. I just don't. That's not what I do. Guys, if you're on here, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Cool. Ended that, son. So, the real reason that this... Okay, come on. The real reason that this came about was an amazing photographer referred me a client. And this has nothing to do with that photographer, so thank you for referring me. But the client, a potential client who I haven't heard back yet, actually emailed me and said, hey, I need to do the shoot this day and this day and this day. This day, this day, this day. Also, thanks. I just want to make sure that I get all the raw images. And, immediately that's my red flag. So my red flag goes, I wrote back to her and said, hey, no, I'm sorry. I have packages for JPEGs and full res and individual and USB of all the edited images and blah, blah, blah. But I do not have any packages for my raw images. I honestly don't expect to hear back from this client because I don't do it. So the reason is photography is 70% editing and 30% shooting. I feel like you get close in camera. Your camera's the base. You start with that, and then after that you edit the photo, you play with the photo, you tweak it to create the final product, right? So you guys see this now. I'm culling all these images. The final images are going to look close to this, but no, I would never dream of giving my clients unedited images. Also, the other thing that scares me about giving raw photos to anybody is that if you give somebody why do they want raw photos? First off, some people can't even open raw photos on the software that they have right now unless they get Lightroom or get some special software for that. Secondly, if they want raw photos, guess what they're going to do with them? They're going to edit the photos, guys. That's a no. That's a super no. Do you guys allow people to edit your photos? Let me know, honestly. If somebody were like, hey, I just want to edit my own photos, is that cool? Are there certain circumstances? Maybe you're shooting for a photographer, homie. Do you just give them the files and say, hey, have a good day? Edit your own photos? Do you? Do you? I think that's weird. Maybe I'm weird by thinking that, but no, we don't let people edit their own photos. That's what the service that they're paying. They're not paying me as a dude with the camera to show up and just start shooting. They're paying me to shoot, edit, and deliver a style of images that's mine. I can promise you, if I know a lot of photographers are editing their own stuff because I see a lot of VSCO presets and film presets and all that set up. So I know that people are editing their own photos. Oh my God, this is taking forever. But yeah, what do you guys think? That's crazy. So I never do, but I do sometimes deliver raw images, and these are usually for commercial clients. And these are for clients that understand that they're going to be owning the rights to the photos. They can do whatever they want with it. My name comes off of it. So if that does happen where I don't get any artistic credit or any basic credit at all, then they're paying a fee for that, right? So let's say, you know, you charge $50 for a digital that's edited. The client now can take that digital JPEG and go and print at Costco or you know, Pixels and Ink or whatever. Well, if that's still my photo, right? That's still my photo, so I can do whatever I want with it. I allow them to edit and play with it. Or I'm sorry, I allow them to print it and share it. They can't edit it. But if they need to edit it, then I just up my rate to 10 times that, right? So say it's $500. $500 for a digital. A raw digital. They get the raw, my name comes off of it. It's theirs. They can do whatever they want. $500 for one image, I feel pretty good about it. I know there's people here that think that's too much, and I know a lot of people here, a lot of photographers think that's not enough. You know, some people are in the 3,000s per image. But those of you guys who are watching here, I see a few people watching. What do you guys think? I mean, has a client ever asked you for raw photos? And if they have asked you for raw photos, what was your response? Did you book them? Were you able to book them, even though raw photos may not be in your bag? And let's ask the other question. Who here is giving out raw photos? Who here is doing a shoot and burn? Because when you're giving out a raw photo, the photo isn't edited. It's what came out of camera. It's a raw image. Even what you see on the LCD screen is not the way it looks. And are you giving your clients these? So I want to real talk about this, and you know, we'll keep whatever stays on YouTube Live, set on YouTube Live, stays on YouTube Live, except for when people rewatch it all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's a good conversation to have. I don't think people understand this too much, and really about the rights of the photographer and what you're selling and what you're giving out. So I'm going to let you guys answer that as this comes up. I think the feed's a little slow right now, so I think people are starting to answer this. But as I'm doing that, I'm editing a wedding that I did over at Hidden Valley with a new team. I guess not new team there, but Hidden Valley Country Club in Reno. Amazing couple. And it was super fun. We were behind a little bit as far as makeup went. So the images you see now, I'm kind of walking around for like an hour just trying to find things to shoot so that I'm still working and I'm not dying and I'm not tired. So that's where we're at now until the bride gets her beautiful, beautiful dress on. And my computer is going incredibly slow because I have Lightroom running, I have OBS running. Oh my God, it's frustrating as crap. But for those of you that missed the beginning of today, and as you're thinking about your raw image questions, I have a new monitor coming. So a new monitor coming on this side over here, the side that I keep looking at you guys on. And I have a new little arm swivel thing that comes along with it that I'm going to put on top of my very desk here. So I'm a stand-up editor, stand-up computer worker. So I stand up all the time. And we're doing this. One of the things we're also doing is working with a contractor who... I think it's King Kong, Travis. I don't know. King Kong. He's an amazing contractor. He does everything. He's been doing our house for a few years now. But we're going to convert our shed into an office. And I'm excited about that. So the room that I'm in right now is a downstairs room. And we're going to use him to take a shed that we had that we got when we moved in here. We actually turned it into the girls' princess castle. But they don't use it. There's a few little toys and stuff in there, like a little dishwasher and stove and all that stuff. So we're gonna turn that into my office. We have to make it a little bit bigger, hopefully a little bit taller, move it around a little bit, but all this stuff is gonna go out there. So I'm theoretically gonna have an office outside of the house, which is kind of nice to think about. But yeah, I think most of us photographers have offices in our houses or somewhere in the kitchen or whatever in the back. All right, so let's do this again. Let's get back into this. JPEGs versus RAW. What do you guys deliver? Why do you deliver them? Do clients ask for RAW? And if you say no or if you say yes, what are their responses? So how I've always done it. First off, we have to assume that you shoot RAW. If you're delivering or contemplating delivering raw images. So I want to talk about that in general. I want to talk to you guys about what that means when you're delivering raw or JPEG. So for the non-photographers in here, when we shoot with we shoot for a raw format file. And what that means is when we're shooting it in our cameras and we get to upload it, we're uploading it with no edits, no changes, no anything. It's the actual raw data of the photo being taken. And what I mean is when you take a photo, think of your iPhone. If you take a photo before you start editing or tweaking it, that's a raw image per se, even though it's not technically a raw file. What a photographer does is takes that raw file, uploads it into software, and then with that software, we're allowed to edit those photos, alter and change it. With a raw photo, we can edit a lot more of the photo, pull in a lot more of the shadows, pull down the highlights a little bit more. We can do a lot more with it than we could with a pre-processed JPEG. So if you guys have a digital camera and you take your digital camera and you shoot and you look at the LCD screen, most of the time you guys have a little preset that's built into there that does like maybe bumps up the contrast, bumps up the sharpness, so it shows you like a prettier version of the photo on the back, right? So if you take that JPEG, upload it, there's only so much editing that you can do. Now I know some professional photographers that edit JPEGs as part of their work and they do it well, nobody can really tell. For me, that's really, really hard to do. I want to be able to play a little bit more and change it. So that's RAW versus JPEG. Guys, if you're in the chat room, say what's up. Say what's up. I have to make sure this is actually working. Let me make sure this is working. Because I have a habit of this thing not working for me. Live. Because I have oh my God. That's me talking. Oh, cool. That's a cool way to look at it. Ooh, I'm 2 subscribers away from 600. I'm 2 away from 600, guys. I need to get to 1,000. I need 1,000. Help me get 1,000. Share my stuff. So we have our JPEG and our RAW. I always deliver high-res JPEGs. I never deliver the RAW unless certain circumstances apply. But a basic general client is always going to be full-on JPEG. This came about today because I did have a client or a potential client email me, and at the end of her email she basically said, oh, and I need all the RAWs. I'm looking for all the RAWs for this. Those of you that are watching, do you deliver RAWs? Tell me now. Do you deliver those RAWs? If so, do you know what your client's doing when you deliver those RAWs? Do you know that, I mean, it's simple, right? So if a client's asking for a raw file, they're going to edit it. If somebody gets a raw file of any of your photos, it's an unedited photo. So basically when I export as a raw, any edits that I have in whether it's in Lightroom or whatever, doesn't transfer with the raw image. So from there, the client, Crystal says, no RAWs for clients. I feel like there's an exclamation point in there. I'm going to assume there was. I actually feel the exact same way. So if your client gets a RAW, then we have to assume they're not just going to, you know, why would they ask for a RAW if they're not going to edit it? Most people don't even understand the difference between a RAW and a JPEG. So if a client goes, I'm going to need all the RAW photos, they're going to edit your photos. And if you are silly enough to give them those RAW photos and they show up on Instagram or Facebook completely different than how you shot it, are you going to be surprised? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. She put an exclamation point now. But Crystal just said no RAWs for clients, and I have to agree. I have to agree, but there are circumstances that allow me to give RAWs to clients. So I kind of talked about this a little bit ago. I have some more watchers here, so we're going to kind of keep this going. First off, if you guys are new to the channel, please give me a subscribe. I'm on the road to 1K right now. And also, give me a like on this and share this out. Let's get people to the page, join in the conversation, and also read the description of my video here today, because you can learn about Hatch Lab, about me, about how to get a hold of me, and just some cool stuff going on while I cull these photos. So, all right, it is a common question. It is a common question, and I believe, I gotta tell you, I think when common questions come about, I feel like a website, some blogger puts a blog and says, hey, make sure you're getting the raw photos for these. So when I deliver a JPEG, I charge a set amount for a limited copyright. And what that means is, let's get an even number so you guys can think about it. $50. You do a portrait session with me. You want to buy, so say they want to buy this photo right here that I'm highlighting. They want to buy that photo, and they want to be able to print, share, send to friends and family, you know, print 10,000 images with it, whatever they want. But they want to buy the rights to do that. They're not buying the full rights to the photo because I still maintain the rights, but they're buying the print rights is what some people call it. I call it a limited copyright, and I have it written down fairly clearly in my copyright. So what that means is when somebody spends $50 for that one file, they get the file, and they get to do whatever they want with that except for sell or edit that photo. They cannot make money from it, and they cannot alter that image in any way. Cropping, I don't really care about. If they have a question about it, they're more than welcome to ask me before doing so. That's a limited copyright. Super simple. People buy it. What I want you guys to realize, though, is if you're selling a limited copyright of any digital, you have to know, you have to know you're not going to get any more money from that photo. Think about that. If I buy a digital from you, I'm not going to come back and buy prints from you. It's just that's why I'm buying the digital. So you have to set it to a price that you're comfortable with, never seeing money from that photo again. But if you deliver a client like say 100 photos and they buy 10 for $50, that's $500. You might be okay with getting that out, especially if you're a busy photographer. If you're not, then you might want to reconsider raising that price because you're looking for more volume out of that. Now, when is it okay to actually sell your RAWs? Commercial photography, guys. So let's say it's $50, and let's just use round even numbers, even though this number is going to be low. Your client, say you have a large commercial client, I have a few of these, and they go, you know what, Jeramie, we need you to shoot it, we need your artistic eye, but we have an in-house marketing team that needs to edit. We need to brand this photo. We're going to put this on t-shirts. We're going to do stuff with this photo, and it may look a little bit different than when you shot it, but we need that base shot. Are you game with that? I already know going into that I'm not going to have to edit that photo and I have to play with it, but the rate for the raw photo for my name to come off of that photo and never see profit from ever again, multiply your digitals by 10. So if it's $50, then $500 per image. If you want more, do 1,000. You're never going to see money from this ever again, and if you see it on a billboard, there's no way that you can say, hey, I shot that, but I don't own the rights to that photo. You have to think of stuff like that. There are we have an amazing local photographer, Tim Kanzaki. I always think I say his last name wrong, but I think it's right. Called me a couple years ago. He did a shot of his Dodge. He was wearing no shirt. He had a flag up. Dodge did just a shoot for himself, a little creative shot. And Dodge saw it and bought it from him. But he called me. He's like, how much should I charge? And I told him, I would charge like $600 for it. I can't remember the actual number. And I think he ended up doing a value trade at higher. So ended up selling it. So say like he was like 600 cash, but they were like, no, how about we give you like $1,000 worth of free stuff for your Dodge? And that might have been worth it to him, and that's what he did. But he sold either the full rights or a limited right to it. I'm not even sure. But that's the only reason I would ever sell or give away a RAW. But knowing that I never have rights to it again, I'm not gonna be able to edit it and put it in my portfolio. You could work out a deal with them where you sell it for a little bit less and say, hey, I'd like to be able to edit this and use it in my portfolio as well, if it's an amazing photo that's valued to you that way. Oh, she wants that sign? I guess she can buy it. All right, guys, the wedding is happening. This wedding was about an hour late at this point. People are hanging out, living the dream. Or just look at these cool kids doing their thing right here. But today's conversation is about RAW versus digitals. It's about image delivery. When do you deliver RAWs? When do you deliver JPEGs? Is there a difference? And what are you losing when doing both? Pro tip, edit. Wait, shoot in full RAW. Shoot in full RAW. Large full RAW. Giant full RAW. I have a 5D Mark IV and a 5D Mark III. My 5D Mark IV, I can shoot on a 16 gig card like 300 images. It's like nothing. but it has limited me on. Chris, thanks, man. He said, "What's up, Jeramie? Love the channel. Keep it up, bro." I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you watching and hanging with me while I edit. We're trying to build this channel to 1K, so I know in a year from now, all these nonsense little talks that I do with myself to you guys will make its way through. But I'm excited for now, and it's in wedding season, so I'm trying to do as much as I can for you guys, for this channel, for Hatch Lab, and just trying to keep community over competition going. But that's where we're at. So if you're watching now, we're talking about image delivery. How are you delivering images? And what are the copyrights that you guys give for those images? And how much are you selling those images for? Let me know. Look at this cute little kid here, being all cute and stuff, doing cute things. I'm waiting for the doorbell to ring. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasó? Is it ¿qué pasa or ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? I feel like you would know better. But I'm super excited today because I'm getting a new monitor. I have a dual screen here. I'm getting a new monitor to replace crappy one that's making me mad. We actually bought the crappy one because it was white in the back, and the Mac is like silver. So Lindsay's like, it's colors are same. So let's get the colors that are same. Now knowing that, like, you know, bull crap, like I'm gonna get a better one, and I also have an arm, so I'm gonna turn it into a vertical. So it'll be kind of cool. I like this subject too, and it's one of the subjects that it's not the sexiest subject that we're going to talk about today, guys, or ever, but it's definitely something that I think photographers don't realize. So let me start how I first started, okay? So if you guys have something, throw it up there. I'll kind of start my career. I've been shooting for about 8 years now, and I bought my first camera 8 years ago last April, so almost 8.5 years. And I shot my very first engagement session maybe like 2 months later after Googling, YouTubing, playing how to play with my camera. And I put a thing on Craigslist and got an amazing client. And hold on, somebody sent me something here. Pat, what's up, buddy? Oh my God, somebody's watching me. You guys see this? Hold up, I have to wait for this to move. Lynn's watching me on the tubes. She gets to put her feet up. Hold on, I didn't touch this long enough. Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. I see it, yo. She's watching me. That's cool. Hey, Lynn. I get to watch her feet because I have a sick kid. Aw. Poor baby. Okay, so yeah, when I first started, my first engagement and wedding was $150, right? Elise, if you're watching, I think that was my first official wedding. And they got married, and we did their engagement at Rancho. It was like a 3-hour shoot. It was a long day. So I ended up just delivering. I went home, edited the photos, put them all on a CD, and just gave it to them, a disc at the time. And so from then on, I was just charging $100 for a shoot. $100, and I'll give you as many photos as you possibly can. I'll edit them, and my editing then for like an hour photo shoot, 2-hour photo shoot was like 4 or 5 hours. So I was charging $100, working like 10 hours for one client, making $10 an hour. And it wasn't really going anywhere. Granted, you know, I was just building my business at the time. I didn't know what I was doing. There was no mentorship. There was nobody to help me. I reached out. I feel like, you know, whether I looked at the wrong things on YouTube or whatever, but I had no local friends at all. No local photographers. Everybody was just super, super mean at the time. This was 8 years ago. Everybody's a little bit better now. And what I started to think about was, like, how do I make more money? How do I make more money without doing more work? Because that's the key, right? It's not about doing a bunch of these $100 shoots. And, you know, if I want to make $2,000, I got to do 20 of them. It's like, hey, how can I just take the 10 portrait sessions that I do a week and make another $3,000 off of it? How do I do that? And that's kind of where we're at. Oh, she messaged me back. Ooh. Oh, my God, we're getting thunderstorms. Is it supposed to rain today? Things are happening. So one of the things that I thought of was like, you know what? Instead of giving them everything, why don't we let them pick what they want and then just, like, you know, you go to McDonald's, right? You go to McDonald's, You pick what you want off the menu, and you pay what it is, and you leave. If you like it, you come back. That's kind of how it is. So that's where we're at with how I started pricing myself. My first pricing sheet, guys, was like 6 pages long. I made it off of like Excel and Word and tables, and I'm like, you guys can get a 4x6, or you can get a 4x6 metallic or a matte, or I can put gold lining on it. And it was crazy. So one of the things that I've learned, and I've heard a lot of professionals say, is if you give somebody too many options, they're simply just going to default and say no. So my goal always is, and if you watch any of my mentoring videos on pricing, is don't give them too many options. So I just sell prints, digitals, and canvases. Oh, and books at weddings. But that's it. I don't sell iPhone covers. I don't sell coffee cups. I don't have metallic prints. I don't have metal prints. I don't have wood prints. You know, we can get that easily, but that's not what I'm about, guys. So today's conversation is image delivery here, JPEG versus RAW. No, Team Tahoe, Nevada. This is all in how I do my Lightroom cataloging is I take all of the images from the day and I actually move it to unedited client images, and this is actually where I'm at in my editing right now. So I'm actually culling all of these right now, and I usually cull them just on here, so I'm not actually doing. So no, this is a wedding, and I shot this wedding's from this day, 8/18. I shot 3,600 images on that wedding day. But if I kind of feed through all these are all like photos of things that I need to edit. So this is my like queue. Oh, Lan, that's you. So no, I didn't edit that many. RAWs for days, guys. So those of you who are joining us, does anybody here not know what a RAW is or what a JPEG is? Let me know, and we can actually go through that. But the biggest issue is when a client asks for RAW images, they are already planning on editing your photo. And what I mean is a RAW format is when we shoot our cameras professionally, or any camera that takes RAW, we put it in RAW, so then we go to upload and upload it. We actually do our edits there. We don't let our camera, our phone, preset any contrast or sharpness or anything. We don't let it do that. And what I mean is when you take a picture with your camera and you look at it in the LCD screen, it'll always look a little bit different than was actually shot. Now, if you shot in JPEG, it'll keep it that way. If you shoot it in RAW, you'll still see it pre-processed on the LCD, but when it actually uploads, it won't be anymore. I love... Oh, she's so good. Cool. I have to write back to her later. But yeah. So we take the RAWs, we edit them, we play with them, we deliver to our client as JPEGs, and that's how we work. But the issue of today is I notice most of us are afraid of asking for the value at the beginning. Did something like this happen to you? Yeah, Carlos. So artistic stop. So we're artists, and I know that most of you guys watching now, hopefully most of you, have felt that your work is not worth what you charge for it, or you can't charge any more for your work. And that's your thing. That's how you feel. That's your thing. That's what you do. But you have to remember that you have to put a value on what you do, whether you think it's great or not. And ultimately, it doesn't matter if you like your own work or not. It matters if the client likes the work. And the client, let's talk about a regular portrait session here, and we're shooting a maternity. The client may want amazing maternity shots, but more importantly, they want to remember this day. So they want to remember this time of their life. That's the value you're putting on that, right? Like when you charge for a 4x6 print, I charge $9 for one for a 4x6. My lab prints it at, charge me 69 cents. I'm not basing my price off of a 69 cents piece of paper. I'm basing it off of a 69-cent piece of paper plus my work on top of it, and that's where the price comes from. With time, you should be raising your rates. With time, as you get better and as you accumulate more stuff, more gear, more knowledge, yeah, get higher. And it's a hard time, but once you get to that point where you charge what you charge, I charge what I charge, and that's what I charge. Like, that's how life should be. You know, I mean, I go into Walmart and I can't pick up a bunch of stuff and then go up to them and be like, hey, I know this costs $200, but I have $50 here, and I'll totally Facebook you guys and like make sure that everybody knows that you gave me a great deal. It just doesn't happen. It's a value. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And that's how we have to do. You'll lose some clients that way, but you know, you never know. My first round of clients, my first couple years, granted there's a few that hung with me, a lot of them have gone to other photographers, and a lot of my friends don't even shoot with me because of my rates, which is totally fine. But don't ever feel like you need to maintain your rates or what you've done in the past to bring value to the old clients that started with you. Even though you want to, you know, acknowledge them and say thank you for helping me, as soon as you raise your rates, are not going to follow you, and ultimately they're not paying your bills, they're not feeding your kids. I presume you have given the file format on your contract. Yeah, Pat. So my contract basically says JPEGs, option to print. Actually, it has a pricing of the full RAWs as well on my contract. Even though I don't like selling the full RAWs, if I can make $300 to $500 per RAW, if I shoot for like a large company, sometimes they may need like 6 or 7 for an ad or for their branding that they're doing, I'm okay selling it for that. You know, I mean, yeah, portfolio. We always talk about our portfolio and what we want to show. You can negotiate, hey, can I just make sure that I can show some clients my portfolio work, and then maybe lower the rate a little bit, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. That way you can at least show people, hey, I've done this in the past, because you want to be able to show those. But ultimately, if it's your personal portfolio, it doesn't need to be in there long. So, ooh, look at this girl running. But yeah. So we're always given JPEGs. I always do full res. I don't play the game of web size, full res, 8x10 crop. I feel like people are smarter now. I feel like people don't, you know, I mean, playing that game with like, yeah, I'll sell you all the web-sized digitals. Like, just sell them the digitals. Why even have a web-size option? If they want to upload, they don't know how to upload onto like Facebook and it's looking like crap, you know, offer them something, you know, if they buy the digitals, be like, I'll give you both sizes, but selling, you know, web size, and you're giving them another option, and they're going to take that lower priced option always. It just doesn't make sense to me. All right, I feel like it's raining. Ooh, a little kiss at the end here. So while we're doing this, you guys feel free to talk this up here. But we are at Hidden Valley at a wedding we did last Friday. And I spent a couple hours emailing this morning, so I'm just trying to get back into the flow of things. I'm actually really interested in what she has to say here. So I don't know if I'm going to read it out to you guys, but... All right, cool. I will need your email, Jeramie. Can I please have your email? I forgot to get her email. Cool. So the reason that this conversation stemmed up, guys. All right, hold on. We'll get into this. What about selling web-sized? They look really, but they look really good. Don't you use some plugin automatically does that? Pat, it's not about like the actual creating of it. That's easy to do. But when you're selling digitals, just sell one size digital and make as much money as you can off of that. What I mean is, if you're going to a store and you see. Let's talk about video games since you like video games. So we're seeing Overwatch, and then Overwatch at $50, or you can get Overwatch for $60. Let's say $70, but the $70 one gets you 2 more characters that won't be released for like 3 months. Most likely, people are going to look at the price and go, "Is that 3 characters really worth the extra $20, or should I just get the lower one and just kind of suck it up and just you know, whatever. That's how people think of it. So if I offer people a digital web-based, web-sized, or full-sized, and the price is significantly cheaper because, you know, it's not as big files, right? They're gonna spend that money on there. They're gonna waste that money, spend it on there, and then ultimately upload crappy work of my stuff. They're gonna try to print those as, you know, giant photos and blah. So my suggestion is, if you're gonna sell digitals, God, I got the like hiccups for days, is sell your digitals at one price, one size. Why make a headache for yourself? They're gonna print them. That's what they're doing. They want to print. And if that doesn't feel good to you, then don't sell digitals. That's why people want them. They want to print, they want to share, they want to Facebook. That's why they're buying digitals. They're not buying digital just to have. They want to do stuff with it, and they feel like they can get a better value printing at Costco. So let them do that. Just charge an amount that's cool with you. Da, 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 yore. Every time I see a mariachi band, I have that song in my head, and I don't even know if that's a mariachi song. So the reason that this conversation stemmed about was I got referred an amazing client, or I got referred a client by an amazing photographer in our area. And the pick over your right shoulder on the wood, is that one of your shots? This is one of mine. This is at the 42nd Concourse de Elegance in Tahoe, 2013. This is Thunder, oh my God, what's it called? Not Thunder Canyon. Thunderbird Lodge in Tahoe. I was actually really sick this day, food poisoning or something the night before, but we rode in on these boats, got a tour of this place, and I was actually shooting it for Lake Tahoe Concourse. This image came from a vendor there that I let use some of my images so he can sell his product. So he ended up buying some digitals from me at full rate, and which is weird that we're talking about that now. And he sent this to me, actually sent this to me as a gift, as a thank you, because he made like a few grand off of my, you know, spending $300 on one of my photos. He made a good amount, so sent this to me. So one of my favorite shots of not people that I took, and of course, is Tahoe, and we got to do some Tahoe stuff. Thunderbird. Pew pew pew. Lynn, I can find a vendor that prints. Us as photographers, we have our labs, and our labs offer everything. So yes, I can definitely get you would something or refer you out. They just print it on whatever. Even locally, if you're local in the Reno area, if you go to you know, we have Pixels and Ink. We have Black Pitch Printing. Oh my God, I always forget their name. They can do it locally and amazingly. So you don't need me for that. Save some money. I just remember that you have some JPEG soda can thing that converts RAW and pretty decent. Pat, it's right down here. JPEG Mini Pro. Boom. Brings it down. It's an awesome software. So, like I said before, I was reading other things. The reasoning that this topic came up today is I had an amazing photographer refer me a potential client. This photographer is sick and can't make a shoot that's supposed to be happening Thursday night. I don't have it available, so LOL, you can get me wood. Lynn's asking for wood. I don't know what you mean, Lynn. I don't know what you mean at all. Doesn't make sense to me. So she referred me. The client got to me. The client said, hey, I need some pricing. You got referred to me, blah, just the whole story. And then the last part of her email goes, by the way, I need all raws of the shoot. And you know, that immediately red flags me. So I was, you know, my email response back was a potential, hey, no, bye. But I wrote back to her and said, hey, I can send you my pricing, my packages. If it works out, we can talk. But as of right now, my pricing includes JPEGs of individual digitals, or digitals of individual JPEGs, or the full USB of JPEGs. But I offer no RAW format. And I don't want to give people raw format. I don't want them to see what's directly out of camera. I want my mistakes to be fixed. I want me to find some cool stuff. I experiment, I play. She can't have those. So she just wrote back and said, send me your pricing. So I'm kind of happy about that. So we'll have to see if my pricing is good enough. let's get back to this. Christelle, how are you? One of my first weddings. Christelle, how long has it been? Like 7 years? It has to be 7 years, something like that. And that was, every time I think of her wedding, something happened at that wedding with the memory card, and it makes me super, super mad. Sorry if I missed this answer. Just in case you haven't been asked, though, what is your favorite form of image delivery? Oh, favorite for image delivery online? Christelle, I use a company called Zenfolio. So if you're watching right now, let me pull up a Zenfolio. I always have it up. This is Zenfolio, and Zenfolio.com. If you are signing up with Zenfolio, go ahead and let me know, and I'll send you a little thing so you get some percentage off here, so you're not, you know, it's pretty cheap, really. So the cool thing with Zenfolio is that it acts as a backup for all your photos. So if you guys kind of see, I have 2008 all the way down. I don't know if I even have your year on here. But basically, as long as it's in this gallery, I'm able to nope, 2009. Let's go to weddings here. I'm able to have, nope, 2010 is when I started this. So I have, you know, I have other images that aren't in here. Oh, boom. So, I have all these photos and acts as a backup through Zenfolio.com. The other thing is clients can actually go on here. You can set pricing for everything as well. So look so much tilt I did. So they're able to send. I'm able to send them these galleries. They're able to purchase everything online through the gallery. They can download photos through the gallery, and that's my way of image delivery. So I deliver images two ways. First, it's through Zenfolio, and also a USB. The USB they have to purchase. If they just purchase digitals, it goes right through here. They download it. They pay for it. Zenfolio takes a percentage. I don't have to do anything. It's amazing. So check out Zenfolio.com. There's also Pixie Set, Shoot Proof. There's another one too. They can't think of their name right now, but all these companies theoretically do the same thing. Once you're in there, stay with whatever one you have. I still have your pictures, so if you lose your pictures, I got them, which is a good photographer thing, right? So guys, the cool thing with having a service like Zenfolio, obviously you can see I've had them since theoretically 2010. These ones are more personal stuff. I have all these images on hard drives in my house and then somewhere hidden somewhere else. I also cloud them, but also I keep them in here. So basically, I have an app that I can always look up these photos. So if I walked anywhere, somebody said, hey, show me some weddings from 2010. I'm like, I really don't want to, but I will. So as you can tell, my style's changed. This shot right here, I remember like when I first thought of this, I saw it somewhere and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. No, it's not showing up. Sorry, guys. Things are happening. But basically, it's a picture of them and then a picture of them kissing. But yeah, this was back in the day. This was back. I delivered 223 images. Should have delivered more. Things happened at that wedding. I'm upset. Bringing back memories. It's okay, Pat. Don't worry about it. I still have the pictures. After a wedding shoot, how long do you tell the client before they can get their pics? Lynn, my turnaround time for weddings is 120 days in contract. 120 days in contract. You can. So, Christelle, if you don't have a website yet, Zenfolio is actually a website as well, although it's kind of super crappy. So, it still works as a website. So, if you don't have one, it's a good temporary website. It's in the cost of the thing as well. So, what I've done is, what you can do is Zenfolio is theoretically just a link. So you have a link to Zenfolio. So if you click on the top of any of this, this is the link to JeramieLu Photography. Zenfolio.com/JeramieLu Photography-F blah, 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 right? So if you go to my website, JeramieLu.com, and I haven't touched this in a while, so it has to reboot itself. Is that hair? Come on, Becky. Come on, Becky. Oh, yeah. This is so freaking annoying. I love this Lofree Keyboard, but this is the second one they sent me, and the Bluetooth takes forever. Actually, now I think it's an issue. Now I think it's being a punk. On purpose. Oh, there we go. Hey, so many G's. So if we go to JeramieLu.com, it's just a link. So you can put this You can put this as part of your website. So we go to JeramieLu.com. Oh, dude, this is so frustrating right now. I'm going to let that work for a sec, okay? Work, 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 work. Once it gets there, I'll come back to you on that. Oh, it's working. Cool, guys. We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. While you're here, while I'm doing this, please read the description. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Say what's up. Well, we're on the road to 1K followers. All right, so I have this section right here that says client galleries. And when I created my website, and Chriselle, you should have a backend on your website as well for this. But basically, you can put whatever, and it'll say link to another website. So somebody clicks on this, and then it goes to that page. This is going to look a little different because this is the client version of this. So they go into here. They have to click on there, 2010, and it takes them here. So you can definitely do that, although that's not how I do it. You can send a direct link to your client. Why is this old logo there? That's not cool. So you send a direct link to your client, and then they get a password, and they can go in and look at it. Smug mug. Oops, that should have been after the wedding shoot. How long do you tell your client you need before you get them? Yeah, same thing. I got what you're saying. I saw what you, I caught what you were throwing down, girl. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't take me too long to actually edit a wedding. But when it's wedding season, or, you know, it's always wedding season for me. Like, I know wedding season is supposed to be the summer for everybody, but I've been very fortunate this year to be shooting weddings the entire year. So I feel like I always have weddings in the back. But, you know, even though I have 5 weddings to shoot and I could probably edit them all in a week, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No more. Dude, it's like thunderstorming outside. It's scary as balls. I'm waiting for this email reply here. Alright, I'm making my computer do too much. I'm surprised you guys are still here. It says video output low, but I think I still see you guys. Oh, there we go. It's looking good. It's looking good. So I'm waiting for some cool stuff to arrive from my computer desk today. I'm super excited, guys. We have, let's say, 8 minutes together before I let you guys go and then get ready to pick up the girls. And we got back to school night tonight. We got some stuff going down. I do want to try to finish editing some stuff here before, so it's been good. So recap of the day, since we have 8 minutes. Shoot raw. Always shoot raw. Deliver in JPEG. Do not deliver raw photos to your clients. If you do deliver raw photos to your clients, charge them a shit ton for them. Because if they want the raws, they want to edit them, they want to play with them, they want to print them, they want to tell people it's theirs, because why wouldn't they? They can change the metadata on it. Charge a ton. Don't know what to charge? 10 times the rate of an individual digital. Start with that. If you charge 20 bucks for a digital, 200 bucks for a full raw. And if they don't want to buy that, then cool. Then they buy the JPEG, you print, you edit, it's your work. That's how it works, guys. That's how it should work. Value what you have. Value your artistic ability. And, you know, you don't want to be that photographer that... So the Craigslist thing I was talking about earlier, like, the real thing of it was this guy has an offer to say, like, hey, I'll take pictures of you and your hubby or your wife having sex on your camera, and I'll just leave it there for you guys. Now, I know that he doesn't really care about photography. He just wants to watch people have sex. And that's his thing. But he posts so much, because I type in photographer, and that's what comes up, that I know that people are utilizing him. I know that people are all about this, so it's an extra service. So, me being an entrepreneur goes, that's gross, but what if I can make these images amazing and just watch people? And just sing a little bit in the background. I'll make love to you like you want me to. All right, we send the kids away. They're all done. Oh, your power died? That's cool, dude. We got like 5 minutes left, Pat. 5 minutos lefto, senor. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks for hanging with me. Lynn and I were supposed to go to Bora Bora this next year. We're not going. We're not going. I mean, we can go together, Lynn. You can take me. I'm not going. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have 5 minutes left. I'm loving this live thing too. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. It's getting me likes and hits. So if you guys are watching, this video will stay up forever. So you guys can always rewatch the video if you missed anything. Obviously, it won't be live. But if you guys would share this, would be awesome if I helped in any way to get other people, because I'm sure they have questions. I will tell you that if something like this existed when I first started photography, I would be happier than happy. Carlos, what do you mean? Do you do any type of reveal? What's a reveal? I don't know who this is. Decline. What's a reveal, buddy? Give it to me. Give it to me. You got like 3 minutes, senor. 3 minutos. 3. Pre-print some images. Nope. Nope. I don't. I know that's a Sue Bryce thing. But she sells those. So I don't, man. I do, I don't. I don't know. Everything's digital for me until they buy it. So I don't want to say it's a waste of money, but I think it's a waste of money. I mean, you know, having some examples of what prints would look like, I think is cool. But I also never want to assume that they're going to buy what I like. Also, a lot of times I do a proofing system, so they're not fully edited anyways. And I think that's an old school photographer trick where they kind of go, hey, these are some amazing images from your birth, your whatever. But if you don't want these, I'm just gonna throw these away. So, I mean, if you give it to as a gift, I think that's cool. But I don't, you know, and there's nothing wrong if you do. I just don't feel it in my business to get that set up and purchased and all that. It's a little extra work for me that I don't want to do. That's not guaranteed for me. But if you do it and it actually creates sales, and shit, do it. Do it. But that's a good thing. Let's go and market ourselves for the beach at Bora Bora. Yeah, I'm game. I'm going to have to charge at least $1 because I'm sure those guys at resorts make no money. Orale. Ooh, these are pretty. Ooh, these are pretty. These are pretty. Bora Bora. We just got to find somebody that wants to get married at Bora Bora. Hey, Lynn, let's do this. Let's find a couple that wants to get married at Bora Bora. I'll shoot the wedding for free. You coordinate for free, as long as they take us. And that's it. 2018. We can do this. We can make things happen. Oh, such a pretty bride. Look at this. So, if you notice, the colors are changing here. The colors were actually changing in the sky, which got me, you know, it got me as I was shooting. But they look beautiful. I'm gonna have to alter them and do them when I actually go through and post them, but or in post. But yeah, look at these. Oh yeah, flowers always look so good up close and at like no f-stop. Yeah, Pat, that's kind of the thing is. But what Carlos says is a little more modern. So their better prints are on the wall already. They look really, really good, and they're the better examples, rather than pulling stuff out. Awesome, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. There's a minute and a half left. I think it takes a minute and a half for me to close, so I'm not doing weird stuff on here. But I appreciate your guys' time hanging out with me on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm sure a lot of you guys are either at work or at home with sick kids. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Again, please share the page, read the description, give me a like on this page. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then if you haven't yet subscribed, you can also click on the bell. The bell up top will tell you when I go live, although I try to do it on social media, let you guys know as soon as I possibly can. Today was an iffy day, but I made it. And yeah, I'm just trying to catch up. Trying to catch up on editing, trying to catch up on work. And it's like the hardest thing in the world right now. But that's what I'm doing. So thank you guys. Enjoy your day, your week. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow or the day after. I'll talk to you later. Hasta la vista, Baby. That's not my exit. That's not my exit thing. That's stupid.